My name is Ryan Murray, and I wrote the short story, Remember. um, I guess the idea to write this story came after my ELA teacher, Mr. Resnick, assigned a project to the class to write any form of writing that kind of revolved around the theme of identity. And being in high school, I've struggled with my own identity a lot, classic high school things. Band nerd, jock type thing. And so I decided to write something I'm familiar with. So I made a young main character who's in high school, lives in a small town. He struggles with his own identity. And the main character, he meets the friend who's kind of the bad influence friend. He's the bad kid of the group. And this friend kind of gets him into marijuana. And they start, they become the local delinquents of their small town. But the story kind of takes an extreme turn, and the main character, he moves into the city, basically leaves his family. His family gives up on him. They give up trying to help him, steer him down the wrong path. And by the end of the story, he's kind of hit rock bottom. And he's like, he's sitting in his hotel room. He doesn't really have a home, he's kind of couch hopping. And he makes a decision. He's like, I've hit rock bottom here. And he makes the decision not to change his identity for the better, but to remember who he truly was. And yeah. Oh, I'll read it. Just a few paragraphs. Josh and I would meet every day after school at the old stable and share a joint. We began to drift away from the rest of our friends. It became just the two of us, the two troublemakers of the town. Anyone who was too scared to do what we did wasn't worth our time. My mom and Matthew knew. They knew about the things I was doing. Josh and I had been caught shoplifting at the convenience store on multiple occasions, and I would often come home unable to hold a conversation without drifting off in my own bubbly world. At first, they tried to convince me to stop what I was doing, to stop talking to Josh, and to go back to the way I used to be. I didn't listen to them. I was having fun, and I didn't care. Eventually, they stopped trying to help me, and I was rarely home, and when I was, I didn't speak to either of them. I moved out when I turned 19. I hadn't been in school for 2 years since I had dropped out after grade 11, but my mom still provided me with food and let me stay at home without paying rent. I don't know why she helped me. I felt uncomfortable around her. Whenever I was home, I felt her gaze, filled with guilt and disappointment. It wasn't her fault it turned out the way it did, so I didn't understand why she felt guilty. But I didn't like it, so I left, the same way my dad left. Yeah.